Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Elly Mikaela. So today I filmed a very bold look. As you can tell, there's a lot of bright colors and everything just kind of pops out at you. This is a great look for the summer. I really enjoyed doing this look. So if you want to learn how to recreate this look, then keep on. Okay, so I already did my eyebrows off camera. And so I'm going to start with my eyes, and I'm going to be taking this NYX white base eyeshadow and applying it all over my eyelid. And I'm going to be doing this with this flat angled brush. So now I'm going to be using my James Charles palette, and I am going to first take the color Canvas and apply this all over my brow bone area. Next, I'm going to be going in with the color B, and I'm going to apply this to my outer crease, and then I'm also going to drag it into my inner crease. The colors on this palette are very pigmented, but you do have to build just a little bit, so as you can see, the color gets more intense as I continue to build. So now I'm going to take the color 518, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did with the B shade, and I'm going to apply it in the same area and drag it in towards my inner corner as well. This is just me layering the colors so that I get that ombre effect. You don't want to exactly cover the yellow. You want to start a little bit lower than you did with the yellow so that they blend into each other. Next, I'm going to be going in with the shade called Skip, which is this very bright pink color. Because this is the brightest shade, you want this shade to kind of pop out the most. So I really packed on the color in my outer corner and then dragged it very lightly towards my inner corner, just so that it can blend with the yellow and the orange in the inner corner. So now I'm going to go back in with the 518 color, and I am going to just brighten up the color that I originally had. When you start to layer eyeshadows, you tend to lose the color beforehand, so I just like to go back in with the shades that I already used so that I can keep them bright and I can keep them visible. So now I'm going to do a half cut crease, and I'm just going to go in with my NYX white eyeshadow base and the same angled brush. And basically what a cut crease is just outlining and tracing your eyelid so that it kind of stands out more than the rest of your eye. And I'm only doing a half cut crease, so I'm only going to trace half of my eyelid. And you want to keep the white strictly on your eyelid, because then the color that you apply to this base will stand out a lot. After I'm done applying the white base, I'm going to go in with this purple glitter shade called Artistry, and I'm going to pack this onto the half cut crease area. Then I'm just going to go back in with the Skip shade and I'm going to brighten the color again. And I'm also going to blend it slightly in towards the shade Artistry, but I'm not going to blend it any further than my outer corner. So now I'm going to take the 518 shade and I'm going to mix it with the shade Rusted. And I'm just doing this to brighten up the orange area on my eye. I wanted this look to be just a little bit brighter, so that's why I added the rusted color. So moving on to the face, I'm going to prime my face with the Professional Matte Rescue Primer by Benefit. And I have a really oily T-zone, so I actually really like this primer because I feel like it helps make my face less oily. Next, I'm going to be applying foundation, and I'm using the Superstay Full Coverage Maybelline Foundation in the shade 128, which is Warm Nude. Then I'm just going to blend everything out with my Beauty Blender. I'm using a Real Technique Beauty Blender. I really like this Beauty Blender because you can use it wet or dry and it won't change the way that the product looks on your face. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 10, and I apply it under my eyes, my forehead, the bridge of my nose, and my chin. And the reason I only apply it to the bridge of my nose instead of the full thing is because once I blend it out, then the product spreads down my nose. And I find that easier than applying it all over your nose and having way too much product. Now I'm going to set my entire face with my Airspun translucent powder. If you watched my first video, you know that the goal here is to look like a powdered donut. Okay? And I set my entire face because it's the summer and it's hot outside and I have a really oily T-zone area. So this helps just lock in my foundation and my concealer. And I find that this helps my makeup last longer than if I don't set my entire face. I'm just going to use this powder brush to brush away all of the excess powder on my face. And then I will move into contouring. So I'm using the Hula by Benefit bronzer. And I am applying this to my cheekbones, my forehead, and my jawline. And I use the Benefit brush that it comes with to apply it to my face, but then later on I'll use a different brush to blend everything out. Now to contour my nose, I'm using a small detail brush. I find using a smaller brush like this helps and works better to contour your nose because you have more control of where the product is going versus using a bigger brush. Then I'm just going to be taking this big bronzing brush and blending everything out. After I'm done blending, I'm going to go in with my NARS blush in the shade Orgasm, and I'm going to apply this to my cheeks. For my eyelashes, I will be using the Faux Mink Wispies by Ardell. I actually really like Ardell lashes, and I also like their glue. For me and my personal use, I think that their eyelashes are really comfortable, and I like that they're reusable, and they're also animal and cruelty free. And I wait about 30 seconds before applying my lash so that the glue can become a little tacky and it's easier to stick onto your eye. And then when I put on my eyelashes, I start in the center of my eye and then I do one end at a time. Using my highbrow highlight by Benefit, I am going to take this detailed brush and I'm going to apply this to my brow bone. This just highlights my brow bone a little bit more than the concealer does because the shade is a lot lighter than my concealer. Then with my NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel, I'm going to brush out my eyebrows and set them to keep them in place. Next, I'm moving on to my lower lash line eyeshadow. So with the shade Rusted, I'm going to start on the outer corner of my lower lash line, and I'm going to apply this only about 3/4 of the way in towards my inner corner. Then with the shade B, I'm going to apply that in the center of my lower lash line, and I'm going to blend it a little bit towards the Rusted shade, but not too much. The final color I'll be putting on my lower lash line is the Artistry shade, and I'm going to place this right after the yellow towards my inner corner. And with each shade, you want to progressively move towards your inner corner. Then I'm just going to be taking this blending eyeshadow brush and blending it together so that there are no harsh lines. After I do this, I'm going to be applying mascara to my lower lash lines, and I'm using the voluminous L'Oreal mascara in the shade Black Brown. Finally, time for my favorite part, which is the highlight, and I'm going in with my High Beam highlighter by Benefit. And if you saw my last video, you know that this is like a pre-highlight because we're going to be glowing. Then I'm going to go in with my Nubian Loose highlighter palette, and with a fan brush, I'm just going to dust it on to my cheekbones. And again, with going in with this small detailed brush, I'm going to highlight my nose, my brow bone, and the inner corners of my eyes. Finally, I'm going to be setting my face with my All Nighter Urban Decay setting spray, and I'm just going to spray this all over my face. Then I'm going to be using my Pixie by Petra lip gloss and applying that to my lips. And I really am a lip gloss person, especially when I have a bright, bold look like this, because it keeps everything simple and your eyes stand out. And here is the completed look. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do recreate this look, put it on Instagram and tag me. I'll put my Instagram right here. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.